Good day, my name is Rafael Kevin Ainagal, and this is Anatomy and Physiology. Today's topic will focus on the microscope. Now, where did the microscope start from? The very first compound microscope was invented in 1590, and it looks like this one. It was Robert Hooke who used a compound microscope to observe pores in a corkboard or in a cork, and he called these areas as cellulae or cells. Anton van Leeuwenhoek was the first person to see single-celled organisms in pond water, and through the use of microscope, he was able to magnify these microorganisms. There are several types of microscopes. First, we have the compound light microscope. This is the first type of microscope and the most widely used. In this type, light passes through two lenses, and it can magnify up to 2,000 times. The second one is the electron microscope. It is used to observe very small objects such as viruses, DNA, and parts of the cells or your cell organelles. It uses beams of electrons rather than just simple lights. It is very powerful in such a sense that it can magnify objects. Now, there are several types of electron microscopes. First, we have the transmission electron microscope, or the TEM. It can magnify up to 250,000 times. This is an example of the object that it can magnify. Another one is the scanning electron microscope, the SEM. It can magnify up to 100,000 times. This is an example of the image that it can magnify. Now, how we are actually going to use the light microscope? Here are the guidelines. First, always carry with two hands. It might fall. Only use lens paper for cleaning because it might scratch the lenses and it will obscure your vision when you're using it. Don't force knobs and always store in a covered area. Now, here are the parts of the microscope. Now, if you could notice, this is the body tube. This is the eyepiece. This is where you visualize the material. This is the revolving nose piece. This is the arm. We have the objective lenses here. We have the clips for the stage. We have the diaphragm and the light source. We also have the base. We have the fine focus and the stronger coarse focus. And this is, as mentioned, the stage where we put the clips. Now, for us to be able to easily understand what microscope is, let's define these terms. First, magnification refers to the increase of an object's apparent size. And resolution, this is the power to show details clearly. Both are needed to see a clear image. Your microscope has three magnifications. We have scanning, low, and high. So each objective will have written the magnification. In addition to this, the ocular lens or the eyepiece that we're going also has a magnification itself. The total magnification is the ocular times the objective. So for example, the magnification for scanning is 4 times and the ocular lens is 10 times. So the total magnification will be 40 times, and so on and so forth. Using the microscope, here are the general procedures. Make sure that all backpacks and materials are out of the aisles and off the tops of the desk. Make sure it's clean. Plug your microscope into the outlet. Store with cord wrapped around microscope and scanning objective clicked into place. Carry by the base and arm with both hands, remember that. When focusing specimens, always start with the scanning objective. Use the coarse knob to focus and then the fine adjustment knob until clear. Image may be small at this magnification though. Now once you have focused on scanning, switch to low power. Now use the coarse knob to refocus, then fine adjustment until clear. So if you could notice, we start with coarse and then go to fine. Now switch to high power. At this point, only use the fine adjustment knob to focus specimens. Now when we're using high power, your slide must be focused on low power before attempting this step. Click the nose piece to the longest objective. Don't use the coarse focusing knob. This could actually crack the slide or the lens itself. Use the fine focus knob to bring the slide. Now when we're drawing, use pencils. You can always erase and shade the areas. All drawings should include clear and proper labels. Now labels should be written on the outside of the circle, okay, not in the inside. When cleaning microscopes, store microscopes with the scanning objective in place. Wrap cords and cover microscopes. Double check to ensure that you didn't leave a slide. Place microscopes in their designated location. So it would be safe if you place it in a cabinet. Now for troubleshooting tips, here we go. Now, if the image is too dark, just adjust the diaphragm. Make sure your light is on. There is a spot in my viewing field. Even when I move the slide, the spot stays in the same place. For this one, it means that your lens is dirty. So use lens paper to carefully clean the objective and ocular lens. Make sure to use this one only because you might scratch the lens itself. The ocular lens can be removed to clean the inside. The spot is probably a speck or just dust. So for troubleshooting tip for the third one, I can't see anything under the high power. So remember the steps. If you can't focus under scanning, then low power. You won't be able to focus anything under high power. So start at scanning and walk through the steps again. Only half of my viewing field is lit. It looks like there's a half moon in there. So for this one, you probably don't have your objective fully clicked into place. Okay? So your worksheet actually has this one, so please label and answer them. Now I want you to focus on this quiz. Please pause the video if ever you haven't finished answering it yet. I want you to submit this on the Neo LMS. Right. So thank you very much for listening and have a good day.